Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So please, do you have any questions concerning the question one? Any issues? Any additional contributions before we start the 2 and 3? All right. So can we start? Let's try and then answer the question 2. Last captain, can we start the question?
Hello, sir. Sir, please. A couple of people are still trying to join, so maybe we could start by 9:10. Thank you.
Okay, so last captain, can we start?
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay. So let's try and then discuss the question 2 and 3. I hope you've gone through. So let me quickly read through and then see how it goes. So a licensed pharmacy was still operating into June of the ensuing year without renewal of the premises license. Mr. Kaswan, the superintendent pharmacist, after taking an advance payment for 2 years, had agreed with Madam Cosmith, the manager stroke owner of the pharmacy, to visit the premises twice a week, though all classes of medicines are supplied or sold on the premises. Regular visits by Pharmacy Council revealed that there was no pharmacist on the premises. The Pharmacy Council decided to lock up the premises and invited Mr. Kaswan before the disciplinary committee of the Pharmacy Council. Answer the following questions. 1. Identify the number of breaches. Into how many classes are medicines classified under the Pharmacy Act? List the penalties Mr. Kaswan is likely to face if found culpable by the DC, and can Madam Cosmith, the pharmacy manager stroke the owner, be charged guilty by the council? Explain your answer. State the effect of an unsupervised pharmacy practice. Always remember to read the case and read through all the questions before you start providing your answers. This will help you to know which answers to give to which particular questions so that you may not be repeating yourself. So, class captain, can you help us identify the number of breaches in the case? And as usual, before you'll be able to know whether a certain act in a case, any action in a case, is a breach against the law or not, then you always have to compare that action in the case to the standard. And what is the standard? The standard is the law. So any provision in the act, the regulations in the act, or the additional regulations, if any activity in the case goes against them, then that becomes a breach. If it's in line with the law, then that is what we want. So compare the wrongdoings in the case versus the standard in the law. That will make you be able to identify what is a breach and what is not a breach. So, class captain, can you identify the number of breaches?
Yes, please.
All right. So let's hear you.
Okay, so I've been able to identify 4. So the first one, so from the case, from the very first statement, is that a licensed pharmacy was still operating into June of the ensuing year without renewal of the premises license. And according to the law, the license for the premise must be renewed by the 31st of January to be able to operate in that in the ensuing year. And then from this case, we've seen that the premises or there was no renewal, and then they were still operating into June of that year, which is a breach. So that's the first one.
Okay, so hold on. So the law, to be specific, you are to renew it before. So even the 31st December is not part. You are supposed to renew it before 31st January, which means 31st January is not even part. So note that it should be done before 31st January. Okay, continue. So that is 1. You did the right thing by comparing the action in the case to the stand of the law. The law states that do it before 31st January. It's around June and they've still not done it. So that's a breach. Okay, continue.
Okay. The second one, so the pharmacist, which is Mr. Kaswam, the superintendent pharmacist, after taking an advance payment for 2 years, had agreed with Madam Cosmate, the manager or owner of the pharmacy, to visit the premises twice a week. So if you look at the additional regulations, he's saying that he's going to hang his certificates without physical appearance and then take payment for it, or receive salaries or remunerations without fulfilling the obligation of providing service to the employer, which is also another breach.
Okay, so how many are you adding?
That's
1
2.
or 2 breaches?
2.
So it goes against hanging your certificate without physical presence and receiving remunerations without providing your professional service. Is that what you are saying? Okay, so now we have 3. Okay, continue. You said you were able to identify 4.
Yes, please.
Okay, so what is the 4th one?
The 4th one would have to do with the additional regulation, misrepresentation of facts, and then providing false information to Pharmacy Council.
Okay, so how do you justify that? On what basis have they contravened that regulation?
For that one,
Hello?
sir, please hold. That one I can't clearly see it from the case, but I think it's also a breach.
So how? What can you say about that? How can you link any action in the case to that misrepresentation of facts?
Okay, so I think so. I think before, as part of the processes to be granted approval to operate or practice as the superintendent pharmacist, you would have to provide certain information to Pharmacy Council that will make you eligible to be the superintendent pharmacist, which includes being present at the facility all the time. And then this one, he's saying that he's going to be present just twice a week.
All right, perfect. So that is it. That is it. Okay, well done. Can anybody add any additional breach? So you're able to identify 4. Let's see whether any other person can add some breaches to what you have identified. Class, please, can anybody identify any additional breach? Remember, it's not only about the additional regulations. It could even go against the regulations in the Act or the provisions in the Act proper, the offenses in the Act, the do's and don'ts in the Act, everything, anything at all in the Act. Can somebody?
Hello, Doc.
Hello, Doc.
Yeah, hello.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, please. I wanted to add it this way. I think it's also a breach for a registered pharmacist to leave the premises in the hands of an NC or technician to dispense restricted medicines. Once you know there.
So was that done in the case? Which aspect of the case relates to what you are saying?
Yeah, I'm looking at the father. Once he's not present, definitely there'll be someone there who is serving or issuing medication. So that's why I'm just saying this in addition.
Okay, so that is good. But to be more specific,
Okay.
you realize that they said, though all classes of medicines were supplied or sold, and you agree that for prescription only medicines and pharmacy only medicines, the pharmacist will have to be there before these drugs can be dispensed. So the fact that the pharmacist is not there and he has allowed other persons who are not pharmacists to do that, it goes against that offense of opening any premises with a description as pharmacy, drugstore, drug house, whatever. And you are selling all kinds of medicines without a pharmacist on the. So it goes against that offense as well. So this can be found at the offenses section of the Health Professions Regulatory Bodies Act 2013, 857, Part 4. So you can add that one as the 5th breach. Class Captain, do you agree?
Yes, please.
All right. So at least we can identify 5 breaches, and we've been able to justify, we've been able to link the actions in the case that goes against provisions in the Act or the regulations. Any other?
Sir, please, can you of personal business information providing
Somebody
for
can still identify any breach. How many? Then I will add what are they, the classes. So you state the number, you state the names.
Hello, sir.
And interpret them individually. Let me add. Yeah, hello? Hello?
Please, can you hear me?
Yes.
Please, I was saying, can you also see the additional regulations, misrepresentation of facts, personal and business information, providing false information to the council? So according to him, he's going to be at the premises twice every week, but I don't think that was what he represented to the council. And besides, he wasn't present at all. So
that was part of the class captain's submission. The class captain captured that.
Okay, sorry, I didn't hear that.
All right.
Sir, please, we missed some parts of what you said earlier.
As in the
just before she spoke. No, just before she spoke.
Now I was
before
trying to
you
read
mentioned the classes.
The second question.
I
was just reading the question. So into how many classes are medicines classified under the fact? So the key thing here is classification under the Pharmacy Act. So by now, I know you've read through the Pharmacy Act and you've done the interpretations, everything. So you know under the Pharmacy Act how drugs are classified, the names of the classes and the interpretations for the different classes of medications. So how many? Last captain, give me some volunteers to answer the question 2. How many you state them, you interpret them? Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, this was an assignment. So I'm sure that you've all tried this question. So just give your answer. There's nothing like you are wrong. We are all discussing. We don't have time, so let's make it fast. What did you write there? The second question. We have about almost 100 or so participants today. So just let us know, what did you write for question 2? Classes of medications under the Pharmacy Act. What are these classes? What is the legal
class A? Please, there's class A, B, and C.
Under the Pharmacy Act.
Yes.
You saw class A, B, and C in the part 4 of the Pharmacy Act. I'm not asking you about Pharmacy Council guidelines, the classification in there. Look at the question. So are you sure that if you read through the part 4, you will find class A, class B, class C? Are you sure about that? Hello? Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, the lady on the floor. I'm asking if we open the part 4, we will find any drug classification as class A, class B, class C. Hello? My lady, the one who just spoke.
Hello, sorry.
Yeah, so the question is, after reading through the Pharmacy Act, did you find any classification as ABC?
No, please.
Sorry, please. I think it would have to be the guideline. I'm so sorry. I was a mix-up.
Okay, so under the Pharmacy Act, how are drugs classified?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, hello.
Please, is it the one
That's
that's...
So let
Yes.
the lady answer. I'll come back to you. I expect everybody to have gone through the Pharmacy Act.
Hello, sir. Please, can I answer?
Okay, so I'm fine. Hello?
Hello, sir.
So that will be 47.
Please, according to the Pharmacy Act, drugs are classified into three. Prescription-only medicine. That's the medicine that's solely served under a valid prescription. The pharmacist only prescription that can be served under prescription or under the discretion of a pharmacist, and the over-the-counter medication that is the
Hello? Hello? Okay, class captain. So can you repeat and polish it for us? You want to take the answers, write everything. In our notebooks. Class captain, so can you repeat it? His line wasn't. Hello?
Hello, sir.
Class captain, so repeat and then polish it for us. Classification of medicines under the Pharmacy Act.
Okay, sir. So we have the prescription-only medications. So that one is sold, and it can only be supplied with a valid prescription. And then we also have the pharmacist list of medications, or pharmacist only medications. And then that one can be supplied by a pharmacist with or without a prescription. And then we have the over-the-counter medications.
So what are over-the-counter medications? Is it the network or? Hello?
Hello, sir.
So the over-the-counter.
So that one, it does not need a prescription from a healthcare professional. So you can just walk in and then you'll be supplied with it, with or without a prescription.
Okay, so to polish it, the way you answer it as how many? So you first pick three classes. And if there are follow-up questions like I added, you have your prescription-only medicine, pharmacist-only medicines, and over-the-counter medicines. Then if you are pushed to do the definitions or the interpretations, the first thing you need to note is that in Ghana, all classes of medicines, all the three classes of medicines are restricted. None of them is exempted. Restricted means that you can't just supply them from any premises unless that premises is approved. That is why it's illegal for individuals to peddle drugs outside an approved premises. So make sure that you begin the interpretation of any of the three with the statement restricted medicine, either prescription only, pharmacist only, or over the counter. All of them should begin with the statement restricted medicines. So for example, if you pick over the counter, these are restricted medicines that are classified as restricted medicine, that are classified as over the counter, or that are classified as such. And who does the classification? FDA. So over the counter medicines, for example, are restricted medicines classified as such by the FDA. And in the opinion of the minister, finally, the FDA, to some extent, Pharmacy Council together advised the minister. If you read the part 4, they advise the minister, and the minister uses executive instrument to classify drugs. If you say using the executive instrument, it's all about the powers that you gain from the executive arm of government. That's the president, his vice, and the cabinet. There are powers that you can use from them. You don't need to go to parliament and get that clearance. So using the powers from the executive arm of government to do use an executive instrument. At the time, the minister will have to use legislative instrument. For example, the regulations, the minister will have to use legislative instrument to treat regulations in the act. For example, the remuneration that a pharmacist is paid upon providing his or her services, the scope of practice for the different category of practicing instrument to set the regulations. When it comes to drug classification, the minister uses executive instrument upon the advice from FDA and Pharmacy Council. But the final thing will be done by FDA. So in the interpretation, every drug begins with restricted medicines classified as such by the FDA. But this time, in the opinion of the minister, he thinks that these drugs, the so-called over-the-counter medicines, could be served by the pharmacist or the other practitioners, even if the pharmacist is not around. And I'm talking about those registered under the Part 4. So these medicines could be supplied by the pharmacist or any member of the support staff, be it pharmacy technician, over-the-counter guys, or now MCAs. And in the opinion of the minister, he thinks that there will be reasonable safety. These drugs are not that harmful. So even if